Hello and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption. Now, I don't expect that this will be a very long video, but I figured that this kind of deserved its own video, seeing as it is going to be, in my opinion, the true ending to Red Dead Redemption and sort of the finale of all the events of Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2.
You need help? Hello.
Got word, mister?
You work with the government? You one of them agents? Sure.
One of them paper pushers?
Did you work with a man named Edgar Ross? I have something for him. Edgar Ross.
So in the newspapers that he retired.
Fine man if he wanted results. Won himself a chest full of medals. I think he went and retired about a year ago. Last I heard, him and his wife moved out to a cabin on Lake Don Julio.
Lake Don Julio.
Lucky guy, getting to take it easy. He's fighting crime in this dump, that's for sure.
Thank you for the information, mister.
Is there something else you needed?
Nope. It would actually be cool, I think, if the start of the quest would be reading the most recent edition of the newspaper, because where is it? Oh, it's because it's the first one, not the last one. There we go. Edgar Ross retires after a lifetime of government service, and that was sort of your clue, and then start asking around now that you saw Ross' name in the newspaper. But maybe that'd be too obscure. I don't know. Well, I wouldn't put it beyond Rockstar. But yeah, we're going to Lake Don Julio, which is down here in New Austin, right here. We go there with Irish in, I think, his first mission. So I'll give you an idea about where it is. Alright, then we should be fairly close now. Now, personally, I like to go after Ross wearing the marshal's uniform, because to me it's not really about revenge as much as it is about justice, because he may have been working for the Bureau, but in my opinion Ross is a much worse crook than John ever was, and he completely screwed him over, and he probably did so for no other reason than to use his own words. It would look better in the report. And in other words, it'd be better for his career to kill John, and I'm not entirely convinced that it wasn't the reason he used John's gun to shoot Dutch, is so he could somehow justify framing him. I don't know. I could certainly imagine, at least. Hey there, ma'am. Who might you be?
Hello, young man.
Hi.
What are you doing out here? Are you out visiting the lake with your family?
No, ma'am. I was looking to deliver a letter to Edgar Ross.
That husband of mine. That bureau just won't get its talons out of him, even though he's retired. Edgar gave them some of the best years of his life. They ought to let him retire in peace. They'll not rest till they've killed him with worry, and he's such a sensitive man. I'm sorry.
Are we talking about the same Edgar Ross?
I don't suppose any of this is your fault. There's no need to worry about him nowadays.
Well, where is he?
He and his brother Philip went hunting on the south side of the San Luis River.
South side of the San Luis River.
They were saying it was dangerous.
I sure will, ma'am. And don't worry about a thing. I'm sure your husband will be just fine.
I'll make sure of that. Oh yeah, he will be just fine.
Come on now, young man.
Rio del Toro. Yeah, so we gotta go down to Nueva Paradiso to get there. I'm guessing that's where the brother is held up.
Work your damn nag!
But yeah, I mean, for example, I think the main difference between John and Edgar Ross principally is that Edgar Ross just has the right people vouching for him. Now, we don't really get to see as much of what Edgar Ross does, but considering his attitude and how he treats John and I guess kind of the people around him, I just find it hard to imagine that John is the first person he screwed over. And given the stuff that he was up to in Red Dead Redemption 1 with the Pinkertons, and he just basically acted as a private militia for a super wealthy man who bought a lot of stock in the Pinkertons. I don't know, it seems kind of corrupt to me. And I just don't see a scenario where he isn't crooked. And whatever absence of evidence there may be is just
Hey there, mister.
a result of our general lack of knowledge about Edgar Ross.
Two rabbits, coyote, elk. Still looking for some trophies for the parlor.
Okay.
I've got a letter here for Edgar Ross. You know him? I heard he was down in these parts with his wife.
Wish I know him. He's my brother. Gone down river, duck hunt. Must be a pretty important letter to have come all this way.
Oh, yes, sir. Real important. I'll be on my way home as soon as I deliver this message.
It's been years underway.
Just don't get on his bad side. He's got a filthy temper.
Yeah, I bet.
Edgar won't be back here for a while.
Where? Oh. It's down this way somewhere. Alright then.
I'd go now.
If you do want to go the really hardcore revenge route, that I'd say probably low on a revenge route, I think what you would be doing is just also killing all of the people along the way here. Maybe not the first guy, but his family members and what have you, as your own kind of revenge. But like I said, first of all, I'm a high honor. And secondly, I do think this should be more about justice than getting payback or revenge or anything. Because I do not think Edgar Ross has gotten what he deserves from everything that went down. Alright then. There he is. Hey there, mister. Gotta have a word with you.
Excuse me. You Edgar Ross?
Do I know you?
Forgive me for startling you, sir. I have a message for you. My name is Jack Marston. You knew my father.
I see. I remember your father.
I've come for you, Ross.
And you, boy, have sure shit found.
You killed my father.
Your father killed himself with the life he lived.
You killed him. I saw you.
You keep saying that.
You sent him to do your dirty work. Then you shot him like a dog.
And I'll shoot you like one too, you little piece of trash.
It may have been
Now get out of
that
here,
his death was the result of the life he lived, but that doesn't mean he should have killed him.
Nowhere, old man.
Doesn't in any way absolve him of personal responsibility. Here we go. Goodbye, Mr. Ross. Enjoy retirement. And that was the last thing. No, go away. God damn it. That was the last thing. Let's check. Yeah, there it is. Dress like a federal bureau agent and the law won't be able to touch you. And I also think the fact that that's what the federal bureau outfit does kind of suggests that Ross is a crook, because I certainly think that's a pretty strong allusion to that fact that Ross could simply do what he did with impunity because he was a federal bureau agent. Now, the reason why I think it's pretty important that what Jack does here in this mission be about justice and not revenge is that I think ultimately, if it is revenge he seeks, he ends up unintentionally perpetuating sort of a cycle of violence, because it kind of seems like I said, a lot of these guys, they die young and they die hard. And the reason for that is because of the kind of lives they live. Will you just fuck off for 2 minutes? It's because of the lives we've lived. John's life, in one capacity or another, ultimately is what caught up with him, and it's the reason he died as young as he did. I don't know, but I imagine he was in his mid to late 30s, would be my guess. Somewhere around there. And that's pretty young to die, and Jack was still pretty young when it happened. And ultimately, Ross also died prematurely because of the consequence of his actions and because some of the shady shit he did. And I'm worried that if it's revenge Jack is after, he at one point or another will end up doing something similar, and so he will face a similar fate instead of kind of trying to break the cycle and, I guess, after this, move on. Or maybe it's even too late. At least if maybe there can be some nuances about what consequences this will have depending on whether he seeks revenge or justice by killing Ross. Like, maybe he, who knows, maybe he has an older son or something who's gonna try and find Jack now because he went after Ross and what have you, and so it just keeps on going forever instead of kind of ending this once and for all, closing it. And so if going after Ross didn't do that, I think if Jack was after revenge, his life is probably going to have much more negative and much more immoral trajectory, because he's going to be a much more bitter and angry person. And so eventually he will set the wheels in motion that will end up making him die young. So that's why I think it's important that it's about justice and closure, doing all of this rather than just killing Ross because he killed his dad, but it's about comeuppance for all of the other shit he's done, and to show him that he was not untouchable, that eventually something would blow back on him, no matter how many medals and bureau uniforms he's wearing. But anyway, that's it for this video, and that's kind of my thoughts on the trajectory I hope Jack's life will take after all of that, what's been going down. But anyway, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, whatever else YouTube wants you to do, and as always, take care.